Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
and this is State of Atlanta.
You
Oh,
said you knew the
wow.
intro. You just
Whoa.
told me you knew the intro, and then you just stumbled right on through it. You made it. You did make it.
Yeah. Did you see the beard that exploded in my face just now?
Well, yeah, but I was making fun of you.
Yeah, I
No
know. I
distracting
know.
me from making fun of you. All right.
No, I do the intros, but one, I was ready to do the intro, and my thing was still it did the music, and then my thing was still spinning, and I hadn't come up with our video on it. So I was like, and then I almost said Tim's name as well. So
Yeah.
I bookended that one being messed up, and then I exploded a beer all over my face.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice.
hey, last call. Here we are. All right, now welcome back. You just got in back into Atlanta.
Yeah, I just
Welcome
flew
back.
in from Texas, and it was a little bit late. We knew I was gonna be a little late today. I
Mhm.
expected more like 10, and here we are at 10:30.
Yeah. So for everybody, this is gonna be one of those times where I'm way more drunk than Ryan because I've been drinking on the vodka train since about 5 o'clock. It's 10:30 now, and Ryan has just cracked open his first or second PBR of the night. So
First is very sad. Well, the one you heard was the second, and this is the
right.
first. I'm trying to get through it.
All right. So you've been out of the loop for a while, so I don't know how much you know about it. Normally you don't know anything at all, but I'm sure you know less than nothing about what's going on now, right?
I've been watching the group me, so I see some of that stuff pop in, but not really. I don't know, man.
Well, I think the big news this week, I mean, not that there's like news about it, but it's the Sunbelt Media Days. So they'll be doing that tomorrow and Wednesday, which, saving the best for last. Georgia State McGee is closing out the whole show on Wednesday at like 3 o'clock, which is probably Central Time. So 4 o'clock American
You mean
time.
saving the last for last? Is that?
Yeah. Gosh. Well, but they did release, last for last. They did release the um, preseason polls and my trackpad has beer on it now. I can't even move my cursor. They released the preseason polls, coaches
Oh yeah,
polls for the Sun Belt, and let's see
doesn't
if
look
I
good
can
for
pull
us.
those.
We are notoriously low in this poll. Even when we've had good years, bad years, like we coaches never think we're gonna do well.
No, and that it's more evident this time than it ever is before. We are dead last in the East, and if you look at the actual points that we got,
We're dead last.
we're dead last overall. So 23 points. Monroe is last place in the West. They got 24 points. They got Jimmy Madison on top. Those who shall not be named at second, and then on down the
We all
regular
agree
list.
Texas State cannot win all of it, right? Like we just can't let them win all of it.
My Bobcats, man, come on. My Bobcats should win the whole thing, right?
Yeah, but not on their way out. No, that's rude.
No. Well, so that's one thing that's kind of interesting. I'm not going to get into the whole, preseason teams or our first team, second team, and everything, but Texas State did not get a single player on first or second or third, however many teams they've got. They're second overall. Or sorry, they're second in the West, and they got not a single player on the all conference team.
Yeah, that seems like maybe it's not a nice thing.
Maybe there's some little shenanigans going on. Some
Yeah.
voting. Speaking of voting shenanigans, you see that Marshall in sixth place in the East, second to last, just above us, got a first place vote.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I understand. They voted for themselves.
So I was wondering, do you think they voted for themselves, or do you think that Coach Huff, who left Marshall to go Southern Miss, gave them a first place vote because he was like, "Yeah, we won the East. Marshall is the first place team until something's happened to say that Marshall's not the first place team."
I don't know. I hope not. I think that's really bad rationale. Like that doesn't actually even make sense considering he took the whole team with him. Whatever. I don't put it past a coach for doing that kind of stuff. I feel like sports we make all kinds of weird things like that. Like my whole appy is gonna beat us until they don't, like that doesn't
Right.
make any sense. I recognize that. But
I think yours makes more sense than maybe this.
yeah.
I do think in these rankings that you should just rank it as if your team was not in the conference or not in the poll. I think that you should not be able to vote for yourself as first place or last place or anywhere in between, just to take that kind of ambiguity out of the whole deal. Because why would you just act like it's somebody else or you're not there?
I can respect it. Like if you think you're gonna be number one, I can respect giving a number one vote. I think even if you don't really think it, like just sort of like breathing it into being, like these people with one first place vote. There's a couple of them too, right? Arky State, South Bama, who else? Oh,
Co-
Southern,
co- Coastal Trash Down
BS,
South.
Coastal, Marshall. Like
Yeah.
even if they gave themselves that vote, whatever, man. Like I'm sort of disappointed that we didn't vote for ourselves, honestly.
Well, but Coach McGee showing some little honor, and then also because the conversations would be the same thing as this one is like, oh, look, McGee's getting them their own first place vote. But like, honestly, by that logic, why would every coach not vote themselves first place in their division?
Yeah, no, I think I think I would be disappointed in any coach that didn't say my team is the number one. Right?
So
They should think that.
Ryan is disappointed in McGee.
Well,
You heard it here
I
first.
I did say all of those words in some form or fashion, but I never said that. I never said that.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of expected with the division. I was kind of surprised to see last place. I really thought that either Marshall or maybe even Old Indian would be last place. We'd come in sixth, but I'm just tired of seeing us at the bottom of a list like this. I know they don't matter. They're just opinion, they're subjective, and everything. We'll find out how it all shakes out at the end of the season. I'm just tired of always seeing us at the bottom of these lists.
Coaches probably know less, honestly, and that's no flack on them or anything, but they're not paying attention to all this extra, like this in between season stuff. They're focusing on their programs generally. If they're not, they're probably doing it wrong. And so I see coaches stuff and I'm like, it's a popularity contest. It's whatever. They saw something on the field last year, and but this year is not reflective of that at all. So I
Right.
mean, it's whatever.
Yeah. I don't take a lot of, I don't really care that much about all of that.
Yeah, I mean, in the media days too, I'm just like, whatever. You guys are gonna say a bunch of coach speak things, and we're gonna talk about Louisiana Tech and Texas State a bunch, probably. I would bet, and none of it's gonna be very original thought, and whatever, man.
Yeah, but apparently it's a lot of like good open bar parties and stuff.
Hmm.
But it's in New
Oh,
Orleans, so
that sounds good.
that part sucks.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you can party in New Orleans like temporarily. It's okay.
if I have to, I mean, open bar, I can party anywhere. Open bar.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
know you would.
if I'm not paying for it, absolutely, absolutely. On the, I don't want to talk much about the preseason crap right now because I don't really care. But they did Ted Hurst. Shout out to Ted Hurst. He was on the first team all conference for the wide receiver position. We had somebody else on the second team, but you don't care about second team, so
As much as I talk shit, first team is still pretty important, and second team probably is okay, right? Third team is
yeah,
where you start being like, who cares?
yeah. Why?
What- what-
Because everyone's got a backup, and you have rotation. So sometimes second team is actually getting starts, and
yeah.
in the game quite a bit. Not maybe not so much as like well, I guess quarterback. I don't know. No,
On the
that
line,
was
you're
it.
usually rotating more people out, and then quarterback, you're not really.
Right.
So, you lose a
Right.
helmet, you got to rotate for a play, but generally, your quarterback's playing every play they can.
Right. And then I guess we'll probably talk. We'll see what is said on Tuesday and Wednesday to the media days. If anything comes out of that, we'll talk about that next week when hopefully Tim's back. We have this is I think this is a fourth week in a row where we haven't had all three of us here together.
It's been tough. I mean, summer schedules and all that.
Oh, for sure. We're doing this on a Monday at 10:30 because I can't be here the rest of the week.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Hold up.
I was up. I was actually over in in San Marcos. I was right outside. We drove by it a few times.
Did you get the picture of you flipping the middle bird to the Bobcat Stadium or whatever?
Nah,
Like
they're
people
on
like
their
to
way.
do.
I'm a classy guy.
Yeah, that's
One thing. If there's one thing y'all know about me, is I'm a classy guy.
yeah. When I think of Ryan Graham, the first thing that comes to mind, the first adjective comes to my mind is classy. That's for sure.
David, I took a shit on the steps that go into the river. Okay, that's what I did. That's what I did.
There you go.
All right.
and it's still cleaner than Eagle Creek. Beautiful, beautiful Eagle Creek.
We did
Yeah.
float one of the rivers out there, and it was a lot of fun. I
So
gotta say, it was good times.
when I did I stopped doing it because summer vacations made it more difficult. But when I was doing those Chat GPT or AI roasts of the schools, and one of the thing about Texas State was like it's basically just an excuse to go rafting with beer down rivers and stuff. That's what you do when you go to school there. Doesn't sound like the worst thing ever.
Pretty nice. And where I went, it was like it was a good like 2.5 hour float, and where you got out was maybe half a mile from where you parked because it just
Oh wow,
zigzagged so much.
that's
And so
nice.
you just get out and walk back to your car.
Yeah, that thing that sucks about when you do like the hooch or you do like the whitewater rafting up
Yeah,
in the mountains and everything. It's like you have to take a bus either up there to get started to end
right.
up where you whatever, or vice versa. You're all what there's a great Ron White bit about I think it was Ron White about shooting the hooch and everything. Is like 6 hours in the water, drinking beer all day, and not a single person had to get up to pee.
Nope, you don't do
Far
it.
far less people complaining about peeing in a river than they do about peeing in a
There's a lot worse than
public
my
pool.
pee in that river, I promise.
Oh, for sure. Well, you could pooped in it, so you got that going on.
I pooped on the stairs leading to it, all right?
Ah, okay, gotcha. We all have our accidents, so. Was it 1,000,000,000 degrees
Oh,
there?
dude, I mean, it's ridiculously hot there. Yeah, Houston is actually, because I was at Houston first, and, it's really similar to Atlanta. It's probably hotter and more humid, but there's, like, a breeze. There's, like, a pretty steady breeze there on, like, in Atlanta. So it's very, very similar.
Yeah, Atlanta doesn't have the breeze when it's 98 degrees and humid, but we have the breeze when it's, like, 64 and misty out, so
Yeah.
it makes it feel like it's 40 degrees. We gotta
Yeah.
get that we gotta figure out when we need to have the breeze coming through.
I mean, it was still miserable, but the breeze definitely helped, and I definitely got a bunch of sun.
How when did the box open? The box open this is going on our 4th season?
It's gotta be 4 or 5 years now, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I think we're
I
going
was gonna guess 4, and you said 4, so
Yeah, I think we're going to our 4th season. I think Coach Hayes, he opened up the whole thing, and we're going for 4th season. Big news came out. We're looking for a naming sponsor. 4 years into the state, 3 years, however you wanna look at
we're
it.
we're exploring the
Exploring.
opportunities. Exploring
Yeah.
opportunities, yeah. There's no one on the docket, but we are exploring now.
So that came out last week. That press release came out. And first when I got the press release, I'm on the media email chain or whatever. I saw the press release and, I see a headline naming rights, blah, blah. I thought they actually had a
The box
sponsor.
is being renamed.
I got super excited about it. I'm like
Mhm.
sitting there trying to pull things up to like post to our group before posting things to, and then I started reading it. And I'm like, wait, we're exploring. Like, was this a draft email that got lost 3 years ago? But no, it's they talk about it being there for 3 years now and everything.
It doesn't make any sense to me, especially given, some of the problems that we know about some of the naming rights on
Yeah.
maybe gates, things like that that didn't
Oh,
go well. Because I definitely we've heard, through the grapevine, and I won't name sources or anything, but people can guess, I'm sure, that they've been looking for somebody the whole time, right? And I'm like, well, I don't necessarily even believe that given what we know about the gate naming. But
right.
also, isn't it like terrible to have been looking for 3 years and then finally put out a press release saying we're looking like that? What? Like, why is this happening now? Why are you even saying this now? Like, neither thing makes any sense.
I got 2 ideas.
Okay.
I got 2. So they're partnered with Van Wagner, who did the naming rights and for the Center Park Stadium and everything. Um, my thought is over the past 3 years, Van Wagner has not found anything. They could not find a deal they like, or they couldn't find a deal that Georgia State likes. There's just nothing out there that they found. So by making a press release, they're hoping that makes it through the industry of, people doing this type of thing, people that, work in that kind of market of finding naming sponsors for buildings and whatnot.
Drum up
And
leads. Yeah.
and so they did this as like a last ditch effort. Like, nothing's working. We can't find anybody. Let's put a press release out there and see if we get any bites that way. Effectively cold calling.
Yeah, maybe
You
it's
know,
time to find somebody else if
I
that's true.
wasn't. I mean, I guess the Center Park thing wasn't horrible as far as the
No,
deal we got. It wasn't what we asked for. Well, sorry, I should not ask. It's not what they said they were looking for. I think they wanted. I forget how much it was.
we
I
all
think we got
expected more.
we got it. We had was it 1.5 million a year for 20 years or something like that? They were wanting like 4 million or more or two. It was more than 2 million. I feel like they
I'd
were
be
wanting.
guessing. If I said yes or no, I'd
Yeah.
just be totally pulling that out
Well,
of my
yeah.
ass. I
Well,
got no
we're not
clue.
known for our accuracy. So that's
Sometimes
my
I do
first.
sometimes I know. I do know it wasn't like, we weren't like, "Holy shit, that's a great deal," and Center Park is the coolest sponsor ever. We were like,
I
"Who's
do.
Center Park?"
Yeah, right. Well, they were just moving into the Atlanta market when they did the whole
Yeah,
thing, right, which I guess was part of it. They had no idea that naming a Georgia State facility
but
wasn't gonna get you very far. They probably thought it'd be more concerts there.
I just feel like the ad space alone, just having Center Park on the highway like that is probably worth more than what we ended up getting, which is again, it's fine. I feel like my expectations were probably just higher than what the real market was, and I have no reason to doubt that we didn't get the best thing that we could at the
Right.
time or anything like that. Like that seems fine. But Center Park, I mean, not Center Park. The box is kind of the same deal. It's like right on the highway. You
Mhm.
got ample opportunity there to have really clear signage for people that are going by on the connector, and you should be able to command something for it. I mean, and if
Right.
if nothing else, throw a billboard on it. Maybe they don't want to name it, but they can
Oh, man.
buy an ad for some amount of time. I don't know.
Tacky it up big time, put a big,
Whatever.
digital video board up there.
Hey, I mean, they people talk about how much money we don't have.
Yeah.
So let's figure out a way to get some money.
Yeah. I just wanna say with Center Park Stadium, it did give us a chance to have, like, a cool nickname, The Park, you know?
Park is cool. Yep.
I like being like, if it was like, I think there was a comment before or rumors before that a local heating and air conditioning company was, in talks. So it was like Estes Heating and Air Stadium, like, that would've been a horrible name, like the Estes, you know? Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I agree. Especially, it fit really well with it having been a baseball park.
Right. An
So,
Olympic park, well, not a park, but yeah.
but I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
we
you're
call baseball fields the park. We call them parks,
right.
and so it's like that's pretty cool. It's nice. It fit.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens if this gets anything as far as naming sponsor goes. Hopefully, we named it the box. We've called it the box. I think it'd be cool to get like the Container Store to
Oh,
sponsor it,
that would be
or
awesome. Container, that
although
would be
people may,
great.
by the look of, you put the Container Store up on that building, people may think it's actually just a Container Store like location.
Put one in. It's fine.
There's room.
Throw one in that bitch. There's plenty of parking, it's good. It's
There you
fine.
go.
Just take a cut.
Apparently, there's a cloud storage place, a company called Box. So one of our patron Amit was saying, get it sponsored by Box, the
No,
Box.
because then it would just be the box, and that'd be great, yeah.
Hey, we got a comment. I don't know. It says, talk about the UAB poaching situation. I've got no idea what they're talking about. So Quality Samson, post in their comment. Tell me what you're talking about, and we'll blind react. Oh,
Oh,
UAB trying to steal recruits from our baseball team. I I've got no idea about that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I haven't seen that anywhere. I don't know what's going on. I'm
But,
not surprised.
hey, good for them. Like, we're that good, they gotta steal from us, alright.
Well, yeah, play us in baseball, UAB. Come on, I want to play UAB in all sports. We should be playing them in all sports every single year. So, no, I have no idea about that. I'll look into it for next week, or maybe something can pop up. We can talk about it in last call. But the other idea, my other thought was with the naming thing, is that now we've opted into this up to $20 million paying player settlement, blah blah blah, and Cobb's like, oh yeah, we could probably get some money for that basketball place we play in. Maybe it's time we try to actually do that and get some more money.
Try harder. Maybe we
That
should
was my
say
other
yes to one of these.
What's on my desk here? It probably expired. Every offer we had.
I just I hate that I know that's a joke, but also that I'm not sure if it's
Like, it could
true or
very
not.
possibly be
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Speaking of Cobb, he did like an hour-long interview with Dave Cohen,
On their podcast or whatever?
yeah, the Panther Insider podcast, or yeah, whatever it's
Yeah.
called. Did you listen to that at all? Did you take
I
in any
didn't.
of
Did
it?
he talk about his contract at all or anything like that?
No, no. I think I actually had a dream that he stepped down. Now that you mentioned that, I think I had a dream that he announced he was stepping down. I don't know.
I just know it's sort of like a little unknown out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good interview. It's just, having not heard from him in forever, talking about anything, and Dave's awesome. But the one thing we talk about all the time is the baseball stadium, and his comment was it's moving along, and they hope a late summer, early fall timeframe to make a major announcement.
Okay.
Like they're giving themselves. So we talked about how small this thing may be, not living up to the expectations of the renderings we saw. If we're talking about a early fall announcement, this thing's going to be just a grass field.
It
It's
has
going
to.
to
I
be like
mean, for them to play in it next season, yeah. I mean,
it's
it would
going to
have.
be Kevin Costner will have built a better baseball park in the middle of a cornfield than we're going to be playing baseball next season, right?
It seems right. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't even know what to expect. I bet it'll be tasteful. Whatever they put together, I bet it'll be tasteful.
Well, I mean, is it still going to be next season?
That's my bigger question, I think, right? Is like
Right.
what are we doing here? Like is this because this is supposed to happen in the spring, right? I mean, it was
Spring
supposed to be
ball.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
So
I think
where are we at?
they start in February or March. Baseball does or something like that. Pretty early.
Well, I mean, just what we knew about the timeline for breaking ground, right? And
So
that had even swapped, right? That was even pushed back from what we had originally thought because it was supposed to be like last year we thought.
well, I think it was supposed to be last fall.
And
Last
then I was
fall
told, I don't know where you heard that, and I'm like, okay, fine. And I heard spring.
from from you. I heard it from you, Mr. Assistant Athletic Director.
Right. So, you know, we're gonna get it when we get it, okay, David? And you'll like it. You'll like it.
Or I don't know if I'll like it, but
You'll get
it'll
it
get
when you get it, and you'll like it. Who's the
yeah, we'll
fan
see.
here, all right? Who's the person who works in athletics and who's the fan, you know?
You'll tell me what exactly you're going to tell me what I'm going to like,
That's
or
right. You'll
you're
tell
going to tell me what I'm going to get is what you're going to do, and whether I like it or not, you don't really seem to care about that much.
That's
It's just
right.
you're going to tell me that the excitement, the packed house, the rooting and cheering, everything at a Kennesaw State basketball game um, doesn't matter because the Convocation Center, the box is a better facility. There's no question in my mind the box is a better facility for basketball than what Kennesaw State has. However, that environment harkened back to sports arena days under Coach Hunter, and that had a lot. I mean, Coach Hunter had a lot to do. Or had everything to do with why the team was playing as well as they were. But that electricity that we had in the stadium definitely helped to make that a difficult place for other teams to play.
Oh, yeah, we made that place loud and
Yeah,
obnoxious.
it was
People
great.
did not like playing there.
No, we couldn't find teams to play us there.
Yep.
The record is sick. It's absurd. Coach Hunter's a home record. He
Mhm.
had like 3 or 4 losses or something at home. It's absurd. I don't know the numbers exactly. It could be more, it could be less. I've got no, but it was like ridiculous. We could not find teams to play us at home. And I want to say it was one of the T teams. So it was either Texas State or Troy beat us, in like a buzzer beater or something, and it was like the first loss like in 14 or 15 games we'd had at the
I,
sports arena or something, and now we can't buy a win in the box, although I think we actually have a winning record in the box.
I think they have done the last 2 coaches have done all right at home, but they've just been, I mean, our record right now away is just insanity. Like, it's crazy how
Yeah,
good it is. So,
well, yeah, we have Hayes has like
yeah.
what, 1 or 2
Yeah.
conference road wins,
We only win
conference
at
road
home,
wins.
basically. I mean, there's a few exceptions, but we pretty much win at home, and that's it.
We win at home because our entire out of conference slate at home is just D2 and nobody teams,
Yeah.
and a MAC team who we somehow just we own the MAC for some reason in basketball with this challenge. And then conference, you play the East twice and the West once, and I don't know. I looked at it before. We actually do have a winning record, not by much, but we have a winning record in the box.
Oh, just at home, but not overall, and not
Yeah,
and definitely not away.
yeah, no, definitely not away.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely not away. So
yeah.
I'm trying to look. There was a couple other things. He talked about he talking about all this whole that the paying the players and that whole house settlement stuff, whatever. And he a legit complaint he had was out of the billions of dollars that are being paid out, back pay to players and everything, and the whole setup that like lawyers made like 500 something $1 million during this whole lawsuit thing. Like,
Well, you should have just paid him in the first place.
well, you can't go back. Yes, I agree. But he was complaining how much money the lawyers were making off this. And I know they worked a lot, but man, $500 million? That's a lot of money going to a law firm, a couple of law firms.
I
I
agree. I
I can't argue
agree.
with you on that one.
But should have paid him in the first place. Then you wouldn't have been there. Then they wouldn't have got a single dime because no lawsuit would have happened, right?
Yeah, well, you're making comments about something that was under no control at that point. It's not like we could have just paid our players back then. That was not allowed. So
But the NCAA could. They could have made the
yeah,
rules, and yeah, and the schools are the ones who made the rules, and so like vis-a-vis, we sort of did.
and the schools are the one that run the NCAA or supposedly
Well,
run
it sounds like I'm not 100% in agreement either with how they're making the payouts because I have no idea how it works, but I guess they're making G5 programs pay for it somehow or another,
yeah, we're paying more than we should be paying.
which is
So
pretty
here's something
silly
else.
because we make way less. So,
He,
I don't, whatever, man. But
here's well, there's two things. One I think you will not like, and one I think that you'll say it should be happening. One is he mentioned a concept that's just being talked about, not anything that's being implemented, but a concept of a transfer fee. Whereas if a player leaves your program and goes somewhere else, that the other school has to pay you a transfer fee for developing the player, so to speak. And the other is
put it in the
just straight up
contract.
employment. Straight up employment. You're an employee of the university that you're playing for. So
I mean, I think that makes sense. The transfer fee even makes sense. I don't know. I don't like a rule for it. I think they just need to put it in the contracts, and negotiate with the player at the time of them signing it. And
man, I thought you were gonna hate the idea of a transfer fee because students should be able to go to college wherever they want to go, and then as a student, just play whatever sport you want to play. I thought you'd be anti any kind of because you're anti the limitations on what players could do as far as transferring
which is
in
why
the
I
in the
just say
old world.
which is why I just say throw it into a contract because if you do that, then you're opting in. You're saying, look, I know that I can't leave without somebody paying this fee for me. And whether that's somebody else, and you just know that that's how hard you got to play, right? Is to
Well,
like
that was the
overcome
same
that.
that was the same thing before. You were opting into a contract when you went and played, knowing that if you transferred schools, you had to sit a year, or unless you dropped down to FCS or something like that. So you were
Well,
opting in by enrolling into that
the
system.
reason I like the contract is because it lets market forces sort of like adjust over time. So, like whatever the norm is can change, and like one player's gonna get a foot forward, and another player might get a foot back, but then they're constantly moving forward, if that makes sense, and kind of getting better deals and things like that. And it just adjusts naturally over time. It's not just some central agency like setting down the this is the going rate. Like different players are going to be worth different amounts.
More of a it's not a blanket statement being applied to everybody versus each individual is getting to negotiate their own terms for themselves
Yeah.
when they take the
And
take the role.
maybe that goes into recruiting too, right? You can negotiate better deals for yourself. Like, oh yeah, I can go to Bama, but they want this if I transfer or something. And Bama might be a bad example because a lot of people aren't transferring out. I don't think, but like, well, maybe they are if they're not seeing the field either. But
Right.
still, like, maybe I'll take this one in Bama, but Georgia State, their transfer penalty in the contract is only a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 compared to Bama's like $1 million, and so like I will be able to leave Georgia State if I want to.
Right.
People will be willing to pay that, and so it gives you another mechanism to kind of compete on too, and then the
Yeah.
market is like sort of fleshing it out, and like I said, it's adjusting over time, and it
Well,
provides other opportunities for those players besides just the one rule that's like, hey, this is what applies to everybody.
this is going to be a thing where it benefits the agents and the sports attorneys big time because
Yeah.
now where it was before you didn't have agents as a college athlete because you really couldn't because you were an amateur, you were quote unquote an amateur athlete. Yeah, now you're going to have that agent that's arguing. Hell, they have the guy, who is it, the Bengals, I think it's the Bengals first round pick that they're trying to shortchange him on his guaranteed money. So he just decided to go back. Well, right now he's practicing with his Texas Tech team, and he may just not go into the NFL. He may just take a year back and go back to college for a year,
Huh.
which I think I don't know if that's if the NCAA even allows that after going in the draft or whatever. I'm not sure, but he's back. He's not at the practice facility for the Bengals. I'm pretty sure it's the Bengals. Could be a different team.
Still,
And
that's crazy. Yeah.
but he's
And
back
it's
at
because
Texas
what?
Tech, just practicing with his team.
The guaranteed money wasn't where he wanted it to be?
The money's fine. I think the money's fine, but they didn't want to guarantee all of it, or they didn't want to guarantee so many years of it, or whatever. It was something that's pretty typical in these
Yeah.
countries. But I think he's either their first round pick or maybe their second round pick. I forget. But they were talking about second round picks across the league are not signing right now because of these not having the guaranteed money in there, and because of the NIL, they could literally make that guaranteed money just by playing another year of college.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I like it. Like that's good. That's good that the NFL has that competition too. Because to me, it's like nothing's been able to break through that NFL competition, and it sounds like that is legitimately direct competition with the NFL, and it will make them pay more. Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Another
not
thing is,
not that the NFL players don't get paid enough. Holy crap, they get paid a lot.
oh yeah, I think
I
league
don't feel bad
minimum
for NFL players.
league minimum is already several $100,000, and that's before they do their revenue disbursements at the end of the season, where they each get paid like another $300,000-$400,000.
Right. I also would not consider amounts that were not guaranteed. If I was like bottom lining it, I'd just be like, no, what are my guaranteed offers? What am I guaranteed to get? That's what I'm going to
Right.
compare. Because
Right.
who the hell knows what happens? You break you get an ACL injury or something. You never know what's going to happen.
Right. Another thing that Cobb was talking about in that interview was just, their revenue generation, I guess, to try to pay this $20 million. It's not $20 million. Pay these players whatever they're going to end up paying him, and he's talk the ticket sales and booster money, gifts, all kinds of stuff like that. Private equity was one of the things he talked about, but he did kind of like brush that off, like, yeah, 25 million is great, but where do I find 30 million to pay you back off? So at least he's being cautious in that regard. I don't know, but then also
just taking private equity money, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's double-edged sword type of thing. Like if there's money available and you can pay him back, but you should have a plan for it. It shouldn't be hard for him to come up with a plan to pay them $30 million back. I don't.
Well, part of me is just kind of like, I would rather have somebody out here that's got a vested interest in the program doing well and generating revenue to actually do something to make us more valuable as a program. And I know private equity has a very, very bad rep for ruining a lot of brands and just like squeezing as much, every single penny they can out of something before just, casting it aside. So it may be short-sighted, but if private equity came in and was actually like, all right, we're going to find a way, we're going to make this Georgia State brand like valuable.
Yeah.
That's
that's the
a
best way to
win.
milk it for everything it's worth, is to make it worth a whole bunch, right? I mean,
Right.
that's the goal, is to sit
Yeah.
there and yeah, you might hit a certain point where you're like, nah, dude, this is like we're just gonna squeeze it until it's gone. But like typically they buy in, they want it to hit its ceiling. They don't want it to hit its floor.
Right. It's not like they're like, it's buying Subway and making the foot-long sandwich only 10 inches long and,
They got sued
cutting
into
corners.
oblivion for that, so that's not necessary.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, but there's not a lot of corners you can cut in that regard. You still have to field a football team, and the goal isn't to sell sandwiches; it's to win games and generate revenue. And
Right.
I mean, if you could turn a 2-10 team into a team that bring in hundreds of millions of dollars a year, that's fantastic. But I don't know how you do that without turning that team into actually like a 10-12 winning season team, game winning season team over and over and over again,
And the
So
simple shit gets fixed though, right? Like the automatic stuff, they just bring in like an expert and be like, no, guys, what are you doing here? Licensing doesn't need to be this hard. You don't need to be litigious against your nobody.
You're gonna
Whatever.
find everything's gonna have the Panther head on it. It'll
Like,
be
bro, it's free marketing. What are you doing? Like, quit it. They're selling like 10 t-shirts, but that's 10 more than you sold. So, like, what are we doing here?
start selling Panther Head toilet paper in Statesboro, Georgia, just so those guys can pay us money to wipe their ass with our logo.
Right. Well, and they
It's actually
and then they
quite
can be
accurate.
like, "Hey, that 30 million you owe us, hey, you're building this nice stadium. Maybe you should, ask people for money for it, like every other university in the country does. Like just ask for money. People donate money to you people. You know that, right? Like you don't need private equity. Just ask for it."
Right. No. It was an interesting listen. Give it a
Yeah.
chance if you get give it a shot if you get a chance.
Is private equity like entering college football in a way that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I actually don't know if it was there or not. Like I don't know about big programs and all
There's
that
a lot
stuff.
of talk. There's a lot of talk. The big conference, like Big 10 or Big 12, one of those big conferences, have talked about negotiations with private equity firms about buying a lot of stuff, and obviously with the bad rap that private equity has, rightfully so. A lot of people hate the idea, but it's something that Cobb talked about and cautious about. I don't know. I don't see it happening anytime soon, at least with Georgia State. But it was
Well,
part of the
considering
interview.
these are publicly owned entities, like, they're not getting a piece of they're not so you say equity, they're not getting equity because it's a public institution.
Well,
There's
oh,
no
there was
equity to
there
buy.
wasn't there. There was a university that effectively sold the management rights of their
Kentucky
football of
Kentucky
their Kentucky. They sold the management
Mhm.
rights of their athletic program or something.
They, like, created a private holding company
That's what
that
it
is
was.
their athletics department or something. So they have a private athletics department, I guess, but still it's a
Right,
public
yeah, so they didn't
institution.
sell it. They just spun it off into this private thing that could be, in theory, purchased or something. Is that right?
I'm not sure because
Something like that. Something
it's
along.
such a novel idea. I don't know what's possible, you know?
Right,
Um, it's interesting to see, but it is also just sorta like there's no equity in a public like, we don't have there's no equity. You c I can't buy equity in Georgia State. I already have it because I'm a citizen of Georgia, you know? I pay
right.
taxes. I hold equity in Georgia State. So does everyone else.
Agreed. Yeah, that's a whole different topic for everything.
Sure.
Alright,
It's just weird to think about an equity company, like, what are they buying? What would they even be buying? The Board of Regents
right.
controls us.
University of Georgia controls us. Let's be fair. I mean, we say it's the Board of Regents. It's whatever UGA allows things to happen in the state.
Sure.
So, and I guess Georgia Tech has a little bit longer of a leash, but everything else is what UGA allows to fly under the
They like you to
radar.
think that. It's that controlled opposition.
All right. All right, we're already almost 40 minutes into it. I have a couple other things, but one thing I want to talk about that came up today, it's not necessarily Georgia State related specifically. However, you probably missed this traveling today. The American Conference did a little bit. It's not really a rebranding, but they called it a modernization on their brand. They dropped athletic from the conference name. They're just the American or the American Conference or AC.
Okay.
And they also did something that no conference has ever done before. They have a mascot.
The is it like an eagle or something?
It is an eagle. Let's see if I can get this pulled up here. It is. It's Soar the Eagle. Let's see if I can this work here. Yeah, I guess this is I'm not gonna do that. There we go. They have I guess this is a football and a
Oh my god. Could we not join the AAC now?
so that's my question. Yeah, so it's Soar the Eagle. He's their mascot now. No conference has a mascot before. I don't know what the purpose of having a mascot, and I think they actually have a live eagle they're using as a I don't know if that will
Does it go to all
irrigate.
the games? Like, what are
I
we
don't know.
doing
Yeah,
here? This
yeah,
is weird. And it looks
yeah.
like they're in the '80s doing, like, a weird dance or something.
Well, there was some talk on message boards. It was like they have those old Egyptian gods with like the bird head or whatever, and some guy was like, "This is like a walk like an Egyptian
Yeah, I
bird
see it.
god."
I see it. I see it.
I mean, at least with the basketball versions, and the basketball looks a little bit more, like he's doing something. But the football guy is out for a power jog in the middle of Phipps Plaza with his kids and the other women in
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
He's like, "You can dance if you wanna."
Yeah, so it's interesting. They changed their name to basically what everyone called them. the American.
Yeah. Well, that made sense to me. I was actually like, that's probably pretty good branding. Like,
Yeah,
I'm here for that. That makes sense to me.
and it's fine. And if that's all it was, that's fine. They also dropped a new slogan or a new motto,
Oh
and it
boy.
was eerily similar, familiar. Built to rise. And the Sun Belts had this "Together We Rise" thing for what, 6 or 7 years now, something like that.
You know
So
what
there's a
else is
lot of
built to rise?
I don't want to know about that, Ryan.
My penis.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be.
You couldn't just not say it. Come on. I know it's
If you
not
got
last
to,
call, but I did it PG-13.
yes, yeah, you use the technical, the medical term, the biological term. Yeah, so that
Uh,
was kind of my question. Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, before that, so that was the American Conference news, and then later on today, it came out that the University of Memphis offered $250 million to the Big 12 to join the conference, and they said not interested.
Dude, they should have joined the Sun Belt.
The what I should say top comment on one of the threads we had on Twitter was the Coastal Pod, the Strut podcast saying, and we invited LA Tech. Like,
Seriously. No, Memphis is the slam dunk, right? That's the one that we should have gone for.
I don't think Memphis was going to offer the Sun Belt $250 million to join.
No, join for free. We just want you. We don't
Right?
need that money. You can just join and just be a member.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So,
you make our conference better, and you're in the West, which is what lots of people wanted. People in the West wanted it.
mhm.
People in the East wanted it. It's a still a good travel partner for ULM. It's very close to ULM still, and they're just so much more well known than LA Tech, right? Nobody knows Louisiana Tech. Nobody gives a shit about Louisiana Tech. They're all
Yeah.
mad because everyone in the East is mad about it, and I was like, well, no one knows or cares about you, dude, guys. Like that's not my fault. That's your fault.
Are you talking about Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, like just become more known. I don't know. Like it makes more sense. It makes sense that we'd be upset about it. Like you don't bring much to the table.
Right. Right.
It's okay. It's a solid ad. Like I'm not like we didn't get better. We didn't get better. Is really where I'm at. We didn't. I don't think we got worse, but we didn't get better.
Yeah, that was our conversation last week with that LA Tech pod Tim and I did. It was good, which was actually a great talk. I don't know what it's like. The entire state of Louisiana sucks, but apparently the guys that run podcasts over there for their sports teams are actually pretty cool because between Nathan and Jerry, I actually enjoy both those two guys. They seem pretty down to earth. Even though Jerry did chime in on the chat to get a little jab in, which was fun. But yeah,
Well, the
we talk
Monroe
more
guys
about.
are all excited about LA Tech, right?
Yeah, I think the Lafayette guys are too. At the end of
Oh,
the day,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
We can talk more about that in last call. I just want to talk more about Memphis and American. Like, what is so you got Memphis willing to pay $250 million, and it's not their money; it's sponsorship money, and it's foregoing media rights for like 5 years or something.
Sure.
Similar,
Whatever. Money's
similar to what
fungible, so it's that equals the same thing as giving it.
right, similar to what SMU did to get into the ACC. So I'm curious. Like, does one Memphis, how do you let this happen? This get out? How do you let this information get out that you did this? That is embarrassing. That is absolutely, that sets your brand back when you find out that a conference doesn't want, $250 million for you to join.
Almost
Apparently,
as
like that.
bad as finding out your school is just now trying to figure out naming rights for its new facility.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
This may be a scotch worse. But I guess the AD and the president have been like hitting up all the Big 12 ADs and presidents and trying to like talk about this behind the scenes and everything. And I don't know if it has any connection with the fact that the American Conference dropped the Soar the Eagle today or anything, but it was a few hours later that it came out that Memphis was being denied Big 12 after a 250 million option. Uh, but yeah, so I assume they try to pull the same thing with the ACC, who I assume will say no, and then
I was
does
gonna say,
does
who is even in the Big 12 right now?
Oh, the teams from the pack that didn't go to Big Ten. They got they got the other AAC team or the
All right.
American teams and BYU.
Arizona, Arizona State, BYU, Baylor, UCF,
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, Houston.
Yeah, all right. Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech. All right, this is a good one, right?
It's not horrible, but I would definitely say that Big 12 I don't know from top to bottom they're not horrible, but I think ACC still has a couple of better brands overall over Big
Yeah,
12 with
it
FSU,
just fits
Clemson,
their
and
wide ass footprint well too.
well, I mean, Memphis is right over there. I mean, like they kind
Yeah,
of they're on the skirts of the whole thing. But I don't know if this was going to. So now that if Memphis can't get into the Big 12, I think they try to go to the ACC, but I don't think ACC has any. I think they won't take them at all. So then, if they want out of the American that bad, their only other option is to take this invitation that's been sitting on the table at the new pack. And I don't think they go alone. They would probably take Tulane and maybe a couple other American teams with them, opening up options in the American. And how I'm relating this all back to Georgia State is now if you got a second time depleted American, do we want to join Soar the Eagle and whatever that iteration may be?
I think the AAC, the Athletic, is gonna be
The Athletic, the one name they dropped,
the
the
American.
American.
The Athletic is a media company. I was like, oh, that seems like a problem, but I wasn't gonna say it. I was just wrong. The American, it seems like maybe they're going downhill. Honestly, it seems like maybe they're gonna go the way of CUSA, and that's not bad for us.
Yeah, I've been very open about my hatred for the Sun Belt and my disdain. I think disdain is better than hatred. I don't like to say hate. That
Yeah,
I reserve that for Statesboro and New Orleans. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I still like the a lot of the programs. If you take whatever the best 4 programs out of the American, whatever those may be, I still like whatever the remnants are. I like those programs as far as like universities go as being better association for Georgia State compared to what we have in the Sun Belt. That being said, I think that if that happens, the uncertainty of what's going to happen with the American is maybe high enough that you stay with what's become more of a stable, growing Sun Belt.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, and the Sun Belt has been, whether we like it or not, they've been moving up and up and up, right? They've been
Yeah.
gaining more and more clout. We've been winning more and more of these like out of conference games and like doing better than all the other G5 conferences. And like the only thing that's really out of whack there is the money, is the media
Yeah.
money. And so
And
like, it'll
that's
get
all gonna
right.
change. So I mean,
Yeah.
the American money right now is based off of Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF being part of that conference.
And
And
they're
that
gonzo.
when that deals up in, the next 5 years or whatever it is, that we know that's gonna change. If you lose Memphis and Tulane and I don't know, UTSA or Rice or something like that, like
ECU.
ECU is the one name in the American that never gets brought up as far as getting picked apart, and I think it may just be geography because getting a legit East Coast school to join the PAC conference is a little extreme, but
Well, you're talking Memphis.
yeah, well, that's what a 800-mile difference between Memphis and wherever the hell ECU is.
I guess, but it's still not
Yeah,
Pacific
no, it's not.
by any
It's not.
by any
It's not.
stretch of the
So
imagination.
sure. I was just counting ECU just because I haven't seen them talked about anywhere else. But even then, you start picking apart, the next level, and you already have 6 teams from Conference USA over there with your Charlotte, North Texas, and
Mhm.
whatever. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be associated with the programs that are in the Sun Belt as is right now, but I'm not sure I wanna go to a conference that is in such flux, you don't know what's gonna happen over
They
there.
got a lot going on, and they definitely like, to me, I'm sorry, I'm still looking at this Wikipedia. To me, this Eagle and all of the rebranding just screams like we're bailing water out of a sinking ship.
Yeah,
You know, or maybe even rearranging deck chairs, honestly,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
which is worse.
I agree. I agree completely. I
So,
agree. Yeah. Alright, I got a couple more things. We're 50 minutes in. I think we can do a short last call and actually talk about a couple different things, real quick here since it's already so late this evening.
oh, you wanna do it now and not in last call then? That's cool.
Oh, you wanna do this? You wanna do it instead of a last call?
I
I
have
was gonna
no
say
no. Well, no, let's go. Let's do whatever you wanna do.
we'll cut it here and
Oh, yeah, cool.
we'll do a last call with a couple more topics. I actually have I have some suggestions for some AI generated suggestions for the Sun Belt, getting a mascot as well as I did all the other conferences as well, and talk about. I went to there was a football event where we saw a movie together with the football team at Atlantic Station. I went
Oh,
to that, and
neat.
we can talk more about your opinion on La Tech
Yeah,
during the conference
cool.
in a couple of years. So, all right, cool.
Sounds good. I gotta
Well,
pee, so this is good
yeah,
time.
it works out well. See, why were you resisting so
I
hard?
didn't know. I thought you wanted to keep going, man. I don't know. I don't know.
You've been gone for a minute. All right. Ryan and I are gonna go to last call. We're gonna go pee, not together. We're
We're
gonna
together.
go
Whatever. We can hold hands.
virtually. So we're all right. We're gonna go do business. We'll come back here. We'll do last call. Check it out on our Patreon page, free of charge. Patreon.com/JDVLand. It's also on our YouTube channel. We just released both of those a couple days later on Friday morning. If you are a member of our Patreon page, you will get immediate access to it, as well as access to our group chat, discounts on merchandise, and whatever else we can do. Free, sponsored alcohol at our tailgates, which is pretty legit. So check it out. Patreon.com/JadeAtlanta. $5 a month goes towards the show. Help us pay for all this stuff and do more stuff. So thanks for listening. We will talk to you next time. Say goodbye, guy.
Goodbye, guy.